today on Investigate TV Plus.
Okay, do you know your address?
Let me just go outside.
A child's desperate call to save his mother's life bounces between dispatchers and towns.
Prairie Village. That's Johnson County, though.
Right.
I was shocked. I was appalled at the lack of accountability.
How a grieving father turned tragedy into change to prevent another family from enduring that same pain.
Plus, saving lives in the sweltering heat. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Will explain why smart watches and a reflective roof could be key to keeping people safe when temperatures rise.
Something in the way she moves.
Then, using harmony to heal. How a barbershop quartet inspired each other to keep making music as a member faced a health crisis.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
Kansas City 911, call taker 102.
I'm only a child with my little sister, and my mom's lying on the ground, and my dad's out of town.
That's an 8-year-old boy from Missouri calling 911 for his mom.
She didn't survive, and a lawsuit claims help didn't arrive in time because of how the call was handled.
A $4 million settlement in the case will force Kansas City and its police department to both pay up. But the family says this isn't about the money, it's about making real change.
And that's why the family insisted the settlement include Catherine's Code, a systematic review of Kansas City's 911 calls.
Investigative reporter Angie Riccono spoke with the family about the change they hope can prevent the loss of another life.
How is the family doing? How are you guys doing now?
Well, we're doing as well as we can. I mean, my kids are growing up without their mother. I'm going on without my wife, Kathy.
Kathy McClellan was just 41 years old when she collapsed in her home with her kids. Her son called for help.
Okay, do you know your address?
Let me just go outside. I live in Prairie Village, Bolinder Avenue.
The call came from a Prairie Village neighborhood on a cell phone and should have gone to Prairie Village Police. But it bounced to a Kansas City, Missouri cell tower and then to Kansas City, Missouri Police. A lawsuit says that's where things go horribly wrong.
I've listened to this call repeatedly. I still feel it's heart-wrenching. It makes me choke up every time I hear Joel's voice on that call.
Kathy was a nurse. She died days later. A wrongful death lawsuit claims too much time was lost during a mishandled 911 call.
Prairie Village. That's Johnson County, though.
Right.
The call needs to be transferred to Johnson County, but it stays in Kansas City.
Okay. And have you guys already gave the call over?
Yeah, I was online with the EMS. They're online with the child.
No, I'm asking since it's in Prairie Village, have you already
No, I haven't done
contacted
anything.
them?
Nope.
Okay. And you're calling from PD?
Yes. Do you
The
guys have
contact
a phone number
contact.
for their EMS? Let me see if I've got. I don't know if we have their EMS.
Okay.
At times there is confusion
Sorry.
Try to get their
and painful silence.
Prairie Village Police. Hello?
Oh, sorry, muted.
It's 13 minutes before an ambulance is sent to Catherine.
Checking on the 7347 Bolinder, just to make sure you guys have that address.
I don't have any calls there.
Okay, can we get you going with this?
Kansas City has agreed to a $4 million settlement. And something even more important to the family, Catherine's Code. Calls will now be randomly audited for quality assurance. 50 calls every month. Were you surprised that wasn't already taking place?
I was shocked. I was appalled at the lack of accountability at the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department's call center.
This is what happens when we don't have well-trained call takers.
Attorney Brian McAllister represented the family and says Kansas City's 911 system needs to improve.
The system ain't working right now. We've got to do something.
Both McAllister and the family he represents are intrigued by the mayor's proposal to combine police and fire communications under one roof. They point to long hold times as evidence of a broken system. All of this has changed this dad's perspective on 911. Frank recently had an emergency for Joel, and in that moment, he thought twice about what he should do next.
And I started to call 911, but then I stopped. And I decided that it would be better and faster for me just to put him in the car and take him to Children's Mercy Hospital myself.
Joel is just fine, but this father didn't trust where his call would go. If it goes to Kansas City, what happens next? A long hold time? Confusion?
If I feel like a call's going to Kansas City, Missouri's call center, I'm not going to make that call.
Frank hopes that reality will change, and Catherine's code can help.
Really looking forward to improvement in this system. We need it.
Kansas City is taking additional steps to address the hold times. The police department launched an automated abandoned callback feature. It calls a person back if they hung up before their call was answered. Officials say it will help confirm if that person meant to call 911. The department is also updating its technology for the first time in 6 years. It's transitioned to the computer-aided dispatch system, which is used nationwide. Along with updated addresses, the system shows dispatchers where fire and police units are within the city and recommends the closest unit to the emergency.
While departments across the country continue to upgrade 911 systems, infrastructure and management are just one piece of the problem. Investigative reporter Kristen Crowley explains why employee shortages are just as important to address.
More than half of 911 centers in the U.S. face a staffing emergency, and it's affecting centers of all sizes and across every region.
The vast majority of the time you start to see these long hold times is due to staffing shortages.
To help recruit dispatchers, Charlotte Police increased salaries and offered hiring bonuses and part-time options. In just 1 year, they added more than 24 employees, and the percentage of 911 calls answered within 10 seconds jumped by 5%.
More capable bodies and chairs means that I can go maybe a few seconds, few minutes between calls.
Dispatchers have reported leaving due to the stress of the job. And in order to retain staff, Phoenix Police put a focus on mental health.
We have a peer support program with people who are qualified to help our employees. If someone took a hard call, that we're looking out for each other and we go and check on them.
The 911 Association, or NENA, also says there's a growing shortfall in younger workers to replace those who are burning out or retiring.
When it comes to calling 911, teaching your kids can't start early enough. First responders say education now revolves around cell phones as landlines become a thing of the past. NENA reports a majority of 911 calls come from wireless devices, and it's important for parents to start lessons about emergencies with their children as young as 3 and make sure to practice often.
On-the-spot drills. Okay, where's mom's phone at? Where's dad's phone at? How do we get into it? What button do we push to make that 911 call?
From fires to a medical emergency or even stranger danger, first responders say it's critical kids can articulate the different types of emergency situations.
And the most important thing parents need to drill in is home address.
Still to come, the medical mythbuster breaks down the benefit of a simple skincare routine and how you can maintain a radiant complexion without dozens of pricey products.
But first, protecting people from one of Mother Nature's deadliest threats.
This is truly a lifesaver.
How researchers are using mobile homes to help find solutions to combat excessive heat. You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime online. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Investigate TV. You can catch stories and full episodes.
The deadliest natural hazard is not one that can flood homes or rip off roofs, but rather it's something that can go unnoticed until it's too late. The National Weather Service reports heat kills more people in the United States than any other weather event.
The number of heat-related deaths has been steadily climbing for years. 2023 saw the highest number of heat-related deaths since 1999. It was also the warmest year since 1850, when global record-keeping began. Researchers warn rising temperatures and more intense heat waves from climate change could extend the trend. However, experts stress most heat-related deaths are preventable.
In order to understand the risk and protect more people, researchers in the hottest city in America are working with one of the most vulnerable populations, people living in mobile homes. They are 6 to 8 times more likely to die from heat exposure because they often lack access to cooling systems during natural hazards.
Reporter Emma Lockhart takes us to Phoenix, Arizona for an in-depth look at 2 possible solutions aimed at saving lives.
It's going to be life-saving, I'm sure. I have no doubt.
Deanna Moreau knows firsthand the dangers of living in a mobile home. That's why she's taking part in a study through ASU. PhD student researchers are tracking dozens of people throughout Phoenix, placing heat sensors in their homes and on their body. Deanna is wearing this smartwatch that turns into a survey throughout the day, tracking her body temperature and blood pressure.
It says, "Are you at home?" And I said, "Yes, I'm at home."
Giselle Guzman, the PhD student behind the study,
identify what are the patterns of heat exposure and compare this with other types of housing.
And the information collected could help develop a product down the line to save people experiencing heat-related symptoms.
This watch would send a message to your nearest relative close by, and it would also send it to the central database, which would send out information to 911 and could actually bring you emergency help right then.
Deanna is also taking part in a separate study with a company out of California. Right now, they are installing a reflective film on the roofs of these mobile homes, and the idea is that it reflects the heat and the sun and ideally cools down these units.
All surfaces absorb heat from the sun during the day, and they emit heat at night. All this material is doing is allowing those materials to think it's nighttime. And so they start to emit heat. And that therefore become actually colder than the air temperature.
Arjan Soroya is the CEO of SkyCool Systems. He says they are installing this material on a handful of mobile homes in Deanna's North Phoenix neighborhood. And they are sharing data with ASU, hoping to get this product on more mobile homes and warehouses in the future.
Most of these deaths happen in mobile manufactured homes. And Arizona has about 160,000 of these mobile manufactured homes, one of the largest concentrations in the United States.
They've kind of estimated that perhaps it will reduce our temperature inside by about 10 degrees. That's what they're hoping.
In early 2024, a new law took effect in Arizona guaranteeing people who live in mobile homes the right to install cooling measures. Before the law, landlords could prevent people from installing certain AC systems like window units, claiming it was too noisy or ruined the appearance of the mobile home.
From roofs to roads, Arizona officials have tested a reflective coating on asphalt to help combat the urban heat island effect. That's when large cities are much hotter than surrounding rural areas because there are more concrete buildings and roads and fewer green spaces. It can lead to increased energy cost, air pollution levels, and heat-related illnesses. The reflective material for streets, known as cool pavement, works similarly to the film used on Deanna's mobile home. The goal is to decrease surface temperature.
Even a 0.5 degree Fahrenheit reduction in air temperatures can substantially reduce energy use for air conditioning and water use.
Researchers acknowledge some downsides to the material, including the fact it makes the people and pets walking on asphalt feel hotter because they absorb the sunlight reflected off the road.
Still ahead, a health crisis suddenly throws a barbershop quartet off key.
It seemed okay, and I thought, oh, this isn't good for a singing group.
How they regained their harmony and helped a member heal.
But first, caring for your complexion.
What's the minimum requirement to just have healthy skin?
We have insight into ways to simplify your skincare routine and the ingredients that doctors say get results. If you check out skincare regimens on social media, you'll likely find posts about the benefits of multi-step skincare plans.
Every girl in my family, my wife and daughter, checking all that stuff out. All right, it seems the more you do to your skin, the better and younger you'll look. But a Mayo Clinic dermatologist says that is a myth.
In this Medical Mythbuster, reporter Viv Williams explains a simple, healthy, and effective skincare routine.
Whether you want to smooth wrinkles, brighten your skin, or protect your face from the sun, the number of steps in some skincare regimens can be daunting and time-consuming. Do you really need 5, 6, or 7 steps in a skin regimen to get results? Dr. Saranya Wiles, a Mayo Clinic dermatologist, says some people really like a multi-step approach, but others ask,
what's the minimum requirement to just have healthy skin as we get older and as we're exposed to different environmental toxins?
Her answer is 3 simple steps. Start with a good cleanser that's unscented and fragrance-free.
A lot of times, fragrances in soap can be aggravating to the skin.
The second step is a vitamin C to be applied in the morning after cleansing.
Vitamin C does 2 great things for your skin. Number 1 is that it's an antioxidant. So what does that mean? It fights the stress that we encounter from daily pollution, stresses, environmental toxin, UV radiation. The second thing that vitamin C does is an ingredient that you use to make collagen. So when we're thinking about synthesizing collagen and creating new collagen for the skin, we want to give it the right ingredients.
Wiles says to look at labels and buy a vitamin C product that contains the active ingredient THD, which stands for tetrahexydexyl ascorbate. She says this form of vitamin C will last longer than products made with L-ascorbic acid. But she adds that even the THD variety oxidizes or goes bad fast, so buy it in small quantities that last 4 to 6 months.
You don't need to go to a very high price point, like above $100, to have a good vitamin C. There are a lot of great vitamin Cs that are priced at $20 or around that range that could still have a great effect. The step 3 is going to be a good sunscreen.
Wiles suggests using a moisturizer that contains sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30. Apply in the morning after the vitamin C and then reapply at midday.
How can I reapply? I already have makeup on and it's in the middle of the day. I don't want to be applying a goopy moisturizing lotion on top of my makeup. They actually have products that are sunscreen brushes or sunscreen spray-ons that you can put on over makeup.
So to recap Wiles' 3-step morning plan, cleanse, apply a vitamin C serum, and then a moisturizer with sunscreen. Her PM plan is even easier with 2 steps, cleanse and then apply a moisturizer.
At night, you do want to, after you cleanse your skin with a gentle cleanser, you want to add a moisturizer with ceramides. And it's really key to have that ingredient ceramides in there because those are like the little building blocks that keep our skin intact and to keep the moisture locked in.
Wiles says if you want to target certain areas of your face, such as puffy eyes, you can add additional steps. But for a simple skincare regimen that will keep your skin healthy, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. With this Medical Mythbuster, I'm Viv Williams.
Finding strength in song.
It's better than any drug.
How a barbershop quartet discovered the true meaning behind their name after a stroke threatened to silence their singing. About 2 hours west of Green Bay, Wisconsin, a barbershop quartet believes their music can help heal the soul.
When the harmony almost ended for this group, reporter Dale Ryman shows us how they inspired each other to keep singing.
It's a ton of fun to sing with these guys.
What's not to love about a barbershop quartet?
Something in the way she moves.
When done right, it can send you to a happy place.
It's better than any drug.
This Stevens Point team has Patty Bourgeois at tenor, Joe Larson is the lead. On bass, there's Dennis Stefani. And Joel Bourgeois completes the sound with baritone. Together, they call themselves alternative medicine.
This is the finest quartet I've ever been able to sing with.
By and by.
Mama sang tenor.
And the group took off, singing in variety shows at sporting events and nursing homes.
We're not like the old quartets they've heard before. That there's new ways to do things and good harmony out there.
That harmony stopped on February 28th.
I'm still improving slowly day by day.
He didn't know it in the moment, but a stroke sent Joe to the hospital for 5 days.
My stroke took away my dexterity in my right hand. My handwriting went to pot and piano playing was out the window.
For the most part, it seemed okay, but he was slurring his words, and I thought, oh, this isn't good for a singing group.
I was thinking, well, the voice is fine, but the word, like that.
We were going to ride this train with him as far as it would go.
That train ride would take him through several weeks of speech and physical rehab, leaving the Portage County Healthcare Center the only way they know how.
California trip now.
They told me I should expect to get 98% back. So I'm over 90, I think.
The group is back to performing, bringing people with them to their happy place.
It's rare when you can find 4 individuals that get along as well as we do.
As Joel said, better than any drug, they are alternative medicine.
Music heals the soul, and people should feel better after they've heard us.
Well, he has definitely made a comeback. Sounds great. And maybe the alternative medicine helped him heal too.
Exactly. Did you see that audience? They loved what they were hearing.
Good stuff there, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm T. Chappelle.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, a silent killer sitting below the water's surface.
The dam sneaks up on you. It is quiet, it is ominous. But by the time they got upon the water, got to the dam, it was too late.
We uncover the threat of low-head dams nationwide and why they continue to claim lives despite the known dangers.